No problem. That's fine by me. So I'm sure my colleague is connected now. Hi, Dee.
Uh, no, your
Are
colleague
you connected?
not there.
Yeah.
My AI note taker.
Ah, okay. All right. So, growing up as a princess from Bafut, I saw it not just a title because a princess is a noun, it's a name, but I saw it as a responsibility. So seeing it as a responsibility, it goes with a lot of roles and things to put in place in order to make you look responsible with those responsibilities. You know, when you are responsible, there is an accountability. So I picked up the accountability and decided to be responsible by asking myself a series of questions. What are some of the things that I am supposed to do as a leader? Because as a princess, if my father is the king, then I am a leader. I am expected to lead. I am expected to support. I am expected to collaborate. I am a role model that the community look up to. There are so many things that when I ask myself these questions, I began discovering my reserve, which prompted me to step into leadership. It prompted me to step into leadership by not just limiting myself to like achieve what I wanted to for my own personal interest. So one of the first thing that I took a notice was what how can I impact my community positively? Seeing their struggles, seeing their challenges, seeing their difficulties, and being part of the experience of the in and out daily activities on how
And how big is the community? Oh,
we struggled with the to create on as youth and the future. Because look at today, there is no future without youth. The youth are the future of every nation. And if there is to be a future, then the youth must learn how to participate in leadership. They must learn how to take their role in leading because practice makes perfect. It is not then that they will lead. It is now that we need to join the leaders, join the society, and we start participating in the process of participation. We will practice what is best as leaders. So when I came out with this organization, I have youth here where I empower youth, I empower women also to be self-creative, to be resilient, to create jobs, to create opportunities, to be self-employed. Because looking at the society, most African countries are very much unemployed because they look up to their leaders to offer them these opportunities. And all these opportunities cannot meet the demands of everyone to be employed. So we must learn how to create jobs. We must learn how to create opportunities. We must learn how to engage ourselves with something doing. So when I diverse my ideas in this aspect of creating jobs and self-employment, I saw that not all the population in the community is educated. Some are literate, some are still illiterate. So I had to bring out an idea where both the literate and the illiterate could benefit from. Of course, which was this idea about create training center where talents can be nurtured, a vocational training center where talents can be nurtured, skills can be nurtured, people can be given the guidance, the direction on how to create jobs, how to create opportunities, how to identify opportunities, where women can empower themselves, where any idea can come and then we guide you on how we can nurture this idea to fetch money for yourself, to help you build yourself by who you are. Because looking at the African society, talents are wasting. Talents are wasting. There are many talented people, but because they lack these centers where they can seek for direction, where they can nurture them, where they can guide them, where they can empower them on how to become who they are. When they lack this knowledge of gaining empowerment, you see that the talents become wasted. Gradually, the talent dies down because every talent is a practice. If you have a talent and then you don't constantly keep it into practice, it dies down. So that was where I inspired myself of bringing out an eco-village known as the Dafu Project Eco-Village, where it can also act as a global center to bring the reunion between the indigenous and modern. We live now in an indigenous world where the indigenous need the modern and the modern needs the indigenous. And we believe that through this eco-village, ideas from the modern can come in, while the ideas from the indigenous also can come in. With these global ideas, we can be able to bring out the best, where the indigenous can receive knowledge from the modern, and the modern also receive knowledge from the indigenous. So that is my project that I had in mind to impact the society, the nation, and the world. As for my visions, I have always envisioned a world where Africa has a voice and the youth have the way to share their ideas and the market to sell their talents. Because if there are no spaces where people can share their ideas, talents cannot be known, opportunities cannot be identified, knowledge cannot be shared. And learning comes when we share and we learn from one another. So from then, that was how I came out with this organization known as Youth and the Future, because I felt inferior as an African. I thought it is only the modern that their voices are recognized globally, because I never had the opportunity to be heard by the modern. I never had the space where I can share my ideas, where I can share my own point of view. So at a particular point of a time, I felt inferior, like maybe I was rejected. Until when I involved myself into net weaving, I began encountering people who gave me the opportunity also, like you, to ask me what are my visions and all these things. That was when I realized that no, I am not rejected, I am not inferior. It was just because I do not have the space. We Africans, we don't have the spaces where design spaces like you, who can always design a space on Zoom and then the ideas are shared. So that was where also I decided to step in to create the youth and the future, where I can create talents and create centers where ideas can be shared, learning and the exchange of knowledge takes place, because learning never ends.
Amazing. That's incredible.
Thank you.
Echo? 1 2 1 2. Okay, maybe it's okay. Yeah, it's incredibly inspiring. I love what you're saying, and it's also, I love that it echoes a lot of the conversations we're having here with different people in a different context. This need for a space that enables people to bring ideas and bring them into life, to be creative, right? I really see building business as an expression of creativity. And I think the fundamental thing that humans are is creative. So it's really amazing to hear your ideas, which is the same as our ideas, but from your context. So it feels so, yeah, I feel so connected with what you're saying. And at what stage is your project or your project?
Like now, it's still in the beginning stage, because to identify funders, to identify people who can support, it's not easy. To identify collaborators, it has not been easy. It's a process, because right now I still lack the sources of funding, opportunities, collaborators, and people at times to help me or support us identify opportunities where we can seek for funds. African countries are limited to funds at times, and sometimes it's not very easy because of the criteria. Sometimes the funding opportunities that you meet, because you are an African, you may not be eligible to. So we have been limited up to an extent, but nevertheless, we have started something, because already there is an available land. So far, I have a land certificate. I will share it with you. With that land availability, I think that is already an advancement, because every project, you cannot start a project on the air. You must have a land. When you have a land, then that is a foundation. So far, I have obtained a land, and I have obtained a certified attestation that I own a land, and I am permitted to set up community projects for the interest of the people and the society. So right now, the next step, I think next week, I will be seeing how I can visit the community elders, because we have our traditions that before projects like that are reconstructed, we always bring out the indigenous elders to come and collaborate. We give them food to eat, we give them drinks so that they can give us our blessings. Those African ways of connecting with nature, so that they can bless us, so that their spirits can be supportive for our projects to become successful. So I will also be doing that next week. And I'm sure if you like, I will connect. Maybe you can be a witness, you can connect and watch live, so that you see how things are being done. So we believe that from then now, that will be an opening, that any funds or any funders or any opportunities that we have now to have money now, we can start a reconstruction project. Because for now, we can only do what we can do. We have not really gotten the funds from someone yet, from sources, but we also have people of interest like you who reach out, and they said they are struggling to see if they can identify some opportunities for us, because our greatest difficulties now is funds. Because I have a team of 25. I have a team of 25 working with me as volunteers under my organization. So the team is very ready. The community has welcomed the project. As I mentioned about the king himself is so much very excited, and he's looking forward to see how everything unfolds.
And how big is the community? How many subjects does the king have, or
the king has about we have about 98, about 10,000 subjects.
10,000 people? Okay, nice.
Yes. No, sorry, 48,000 subjects, not 10. 48.
48,
I will send you a link of a documentary where you can have all this information about the subject and the kingdom. About 48,000 subjects. Yeah.
Beautiful. And actually, I'm curious. I'm going to ask because I organize the gathering. It's a festival for bringing together different organizations, different people making change. It's actually maybe something could consider if it would make sense in your context. I'll send you some information afterwards. But tell me about what are the big festivals in your culture, in your community? Because I really love in places like this, this is the big difference between the rural areas and the city, that in rural areas, the festivals are still alive. They're still important. They're still a big part of people's lives. What are the big festivals in your culture?
Okay, we have one of the biggest festivals in our culture takes place in every month of December, which is known as annual dance. It is a feast where it is the end of year feast where all the indigenous community members come home to celebrate, just like Christmas and New Year. That is the biggest festival. We call it annual dance. Most often, so many visitors and people gather all over the world just to witness. I will also send you a link where you can maybe just have a view of an example. Different parades takes place in that day. You have every young man, every young girls coming out to parade for the Miss Village to be chosen, the most pretty lady to be chosen, the most pretty male to be chosen as Mr. Village and Miss Village. So all these activities, it takes place for 5 good days.
Beautiful.
Then there is cooking, there is eating, there is dancing. Everyone comes out well dressed in the traditional regalia, which signifies our culture and the traditions of what our ancestors were before in their reigning. So it is very much valuable, where the regalia itself is not just an attire, but a way of passing out meaningful information, because the signs and symbols that the regalia carries, it is a message. It is a message, you know. In those days, our ancestors could not read and write. So they kept some of this information through signs, through symbols, through carving. So some of the symbols on the regalia are messages, useful information that it represents. So I'm sure when I share the links with you, you will be able to see some of these designs I'm talking about.
Nice, beautiful. So your idea is to build this village, which is also a center for entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And how big do you think it's going to be? How many houses, or
it's
what is the vision?
Yeah, we have houses where we want to build a training center. Like, we will have houses and workshops, because, you know, we do training with permaculture, we do training with agriculture, we do training with talents, we do training with technology. So we are going to set it up into different structures, but an eco-village structure. Because we already have an eco-village design where we have experts, that every time we have experts who can come, we organize training centers and they train. Sometimes they can train how to be self-productive, maybe by building a local kitchen cooking site. You know, yes, when you're able to build such things, you can fetch money for yourself, because even in your home, like in the Western world, sometimes I see their ovens being built locally with bricks. Yes, so something of that sort also people can learn. You have training centers where you can teach designing for tailors, designers to be able to design. You have training center where you can train people who are actors and actresses who can sing. And then you nurture them and you look for a market out there, you sell them. Their talents, these people, you look for opportunities, you connect them, because one thing that is limiting most African countries is because they have the talents, but they don't know who to access to sell or to connect their talents with. So because of that, they are limited. If you can see few Africans who are excelling out there, there are people whose talents have been sold out there, that the world can see that, yes, Africans are talented. If not being connected, the talents are there, but they cannot be exposed.
Yeah.
So we start through this our Royal Eco Village Training Center. Talents will be exploited, where even the Western world can come now. They visit us, we exchange ideas. Maybe we have webinars, we have training sections where they can share new ideas with us, new technology, and we also share our skillful indigenous permaculture and agricultural systems of doing things. And that is how we grow together as a global world.
Beautiful. I love it. So, yeah, I mean, if you have materials, I'd be happy to look at them, also give ideas, feedback, if that's useful. And other than fundraising support, what kind of help, support are you looking for?
I'm also looking for peers. I'm looking for ideas also, because we don't love to limit ourselves only at the level of Africa. As I earlier mentioned, the vision that I envision a world where Africa has a voice. I want a situation where African voices can be heard. What does Africa have also to share with the Western world? What does Africa have also to teach the Modern? How do we connect? How do we exchange knowledge? How do we combat against these climatic ongoing threats that are hitting global North and global South? If global North and global South cannot come together to pick out the solutions to global south and global north climatic threats, you see that a lot is happening. So we also look for opportunities where our cultures, our traditions, part of us, the life that we live can also be showcased out there, where we can travel abroad, we present our indigenous cultures, our traditions, and we do a lot of presentations. We look for these opportunities. We look for collaborative opportunities where we can have exchange of visits. People can visit us here to learn about us, and we also visit them abroad to learn about them. We look for peace. We look for a collaborative space. We want to grow. We want to bring change to Africa. Change is not being given. We work for it. We cannot keep on sitting and folding our arms. Then Africa will never change. We want a change generation where our situation will be different than how they look at Africans, like they are people who have nothing to give in the world. No, we have. If only we are given that opportunity. We have the capacity. We have the capabilities. We have a lot also to educate the world with. It's just because we have not been given the opportunity. If we are also invited for conferences, we can also speak, because I am also a speaker. I do conferences. I speak and I teach indigenous knowledge on how our forefather lives, how we continue connecting with our roots without disconnecting with them. Our roots are our foundation. Our roots are our identity. Our roots are who we are. No matter everything, we remain who we are, Africans.
Amazing. You're such an inspiring speaker. It's hard to follow. I think, yeah. So by the way, do you have a YouTube channel? Do you produce media regularly?
With your support, these are some of the areas where we are very much limited. That is why I really need people like you who can help build me up, because I have all these talents, Victor. My team has the talents, but we don't really have these people, channel and medias where we can excel to sell ourselves out. That is what hurts me, because, you know, we are limited in technology. We are limited financially. We can't afford for all these things at times. Maybe to run spaces, you see, we don't even have a Zoom link where we can program Zooms on our own and we host. Can you imagine? We don't have all these type of things. These are things that I wish we can create, so that the works that my team and I have been doing, they can see. At the end of this, if you can permit me to share my WhatsApp contact with you, I will share some of the links where you see my team and I doing a lot of presentations, doing a lot of talks, hosting things. But we are not excelling there because we have not gotten the media that can sell us out. We have not gotten the channels, the people that can be a support system to say there is something here. Can we also give a listening ear to them? We don't have. So I've only been limited with my team at the level of Africa, still struggling to identify some of these opportunities. That is why I told you I was so excited that you showed interest and concern, because these are some of the opportunities that I have been longing to have.
Well, I think now, I am not an expert on mainstream media, but I've gotten some success, again, not as big as others, but on LinkedIn and on social media, right? And I think in this space, people are really open to connect. I've had, I'll share, maybe share your WhatsApp afterwards. We have LinkedIn. I've started a YouTube channel just recording conversations like now. I think you're very inspiring and energetic speaker. So just going out there, connecting, having conversations with people, posting that on a regular basis. I can share everything that we're doing, and we're a very small team. I don't know. the people that you have, they have some experience with online, right? With digital tools.
Yes, okay. Let me also give the opportunity to Heidi. She's actually my assistant, so that you can also hear from her. She's connected.
Yeah.
Heidi?
Hello, Victor.
Hello. Are you able to turn on your video? Say hello.
Okay. It's a little bit having little crisis here with hello.
Wonderful to see you.
Yeah, I'm having a little bit difficulties with electricity here, so my battery is really down. That's why my video has been off.
Okay.
So at least you've seen my face.
Yeah, but thank you. It's wonderful to see your smile. Yeah,
Okay.
feel free to turn off your video if it's draining your battery.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I would be happy to support you. I think I don't have money to invest. I have a lot of ideas, and I think I can support you in terms of helping you figure out a strategy for social media and LinkedIn. I think with the resources that you have, you can definitely 10x your reach, and it's about connecting with the right people, and you have an inspiring story. And on the one hand, of course, I appreciate it's tough in a million ways being a woman in Africa. On the other hand, there's a lot of people who want to help, right? And there is a lot of networks and this, so it's reaching out the people who do want to help. And many people would love to hear positive stories and would love to hear more positive stories from Africa. So if you practice and polish a little bit telling your story and all of this, I think there is definitely an audience and people want to hear and know. Also, I think it's very inspiring because a lot of the stories we hear, it's some NGO, whatever. Some European American people went to Africa and are doing stuff, which is good, but it's also really nice to hear the stories directly from people like you who are rooted in the community, who are doing things, and we need to do it together. So I think you have a great story. It sounds, I mean, you have team and volunteers, and it's just learning. And the resources, everybody has, right? Even smartphones or good. Oh, where are we?
Yeah, because exactly like I have some videos of storytelling at the level of the community where I host spaces and we exchange some communities of practice. As Africans, we often come together, fireside storytelling, a
Yeah.
community of practice. We have a series of indigenous practices. I have all these things that I have been making. The videos are there. Victor, they are there. I have more than 38 videos. But where am I to publish them? Yes, I have. Where who am I to send this to? So I just need a site where maybe, I don't know whether it's a blog or a site where these things can be uploaded for people to see. I have videos of demonstration of agricultural permaculture systems. I have videos of youth participating on the field. I have videos of going out there to empower and to encourage the education of a girl child. I have videos of advocating for the right of education for every child. I have videos of empowering women to rise up and join leadership. I have videos of advocating where a woman's rights should not be limited at the level of nurturing children or at the level of a kitchen, where women should be given the opportunities to go out there and join their men. They are multitask. They are multitask people. They can handle the house chores and they can also handle things at the level of the society. Why then are African women so much limited? And I always make people understand that African women are best leaders. Why? Because they lead through experiences. Sometimes, we say experience is the best teacher. Most of them, because of the challenges and the ups and downs that they have gone through, when they want to lead, they lead from the experience that they went through. But there are some who lead just from what they studied in class. They read through novels, what their teachers have taught them, but they have never experienced. We say experience is the best teacher. Where you experience something, it's quite different from what you read from novels. It's quite different from what you watch over the TVs. It's quite different from what your lecturers gave you. Most African leaderships is experience. I'm leading today out of experience. It is from the experience that I'm able to identify some of the challenges. Why? Because I also faced those challenges. I was able to overcome them. But maybe not every African woman today will be able to overcome. Some may be stuck there. So that is why I am fighting to see how I can improve things and give them those opportunities. Women are best managers. Women can manage resources at home. Women can manage humans, and the world is about resources and humans. If they can manage humans at home and manage resources, and then they have the capacity of managing the society. I call women the earth salt. Where there are no women, the world is tasteless. The world is tasteful because of women. Women add more modification to the world. Women, it's like a spice onto the lives of people. That is why even a man needs to get married, because there is something that a woman can do in the life of a man that man himself cannot do it. Where women should be given the credit, they should be credited. They should not be ignored because they are women. No, we deserve the credit. Through a woman, the world is multiplied. We often said in an indigenous proverb that when you educate a single woman, you educate generations. Why? Because from that woman, generations will be educated. The woman is the first teacher that starts teaching you at home. He gives you your first lessons.
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but in 5 minutes I have another call and I need to prepare for it. But
Okay.
I love your energy. I love the way you speak, and you have so much power. And I think with the internet, with social media, there is a huge opportunity in getting your voice out. It's just about organizing. It's two things, right? It's one, having a bit of strategy, and then the other just regularly posting, and yeah, just keeping on top of it. And I think you have a lot of inspiring stories, and yeah, I mean, let's start maybe a WhatsApp chat with your assistant, and then also if there's anybody else in your team that's involved in social media and such. I see what I think can be a really, at a high level, I think, don't take this in a rude way, but king sounds cool, right? There's an excitement to it, right? There's not many kings left in the world. And you have the royal house. So I think what would, are you there? Your video froze. 1 2 1 2. Gosh.
I'm here, Victor.
Okay. Heidi, you're here, but I'm not sure if we lost the princess. But what I wanted to say is that the whole idea of king and royal is very cool. So I think having a social media umbrella, which is, the royal house social media, which supports different projects within it. Are you there, Heidi?
I'm here, Victor.
Yeah.
I'm here.
So I think having the royal house as an umbrella, so its own media kind of promotion company, and then within it are all of the different projects with different voices. I think that with a bit of branding and with a bit of strategy will be really cool. So yeah, I mean, I would love to have a conversation. Share with me whatever strategy documents you have, all of your social media that you've done so far, this and that, and then we can think of how to do it. And also, I think a key thing in what the princess said is enabling people to get their voice and go out and be heard. I think a key part of that is teaching people how to use social media effectively.
Exactly.
This is in everybody's pocket now, and you can use it. You can build a career. I just saw recently there's a guy that's become a massive YouTube star, and he's a Chinese guy promoting LED signs. But everyone of he thinks that he does is a comedy thing, right? And everybody laughs, and he's become a superstar on YouTube. Or there was in Mexico, there was this woman that was teaching recipes, but really like in the village, like simple on the fire, old woman missing half the teeth. You know the image that I'm talking about, and she's explaining her recipes. And somebody filmed her, and she became a YouTube superstar. This old grandma in the village cooking on the fire, explaining her recipes. So people want to hear genuine stories, and you need to be organized and have a bit of production, but you don't have to be rich. You don't have to have a lot of money. You need to be a good storyteller. Clearly, the princess is a great storyteller, and she is very passionate. So, and if there is 25 people, if even 4 or 5 of them can start recording videos and train and get people, also it's a possibility for people to get jobs remotely and so on and so forth. So yeah, let's establish the communication channel. And I don't have a lot of time, or I don't have a lot of resources, but I think I can definitely help connect you with people and organize your strategy so that you can communicate and connect well with the European world, with the North American world. Those are the worlds that I understand. Does that make sense? What do you think?
Okay, Victor. I think you ensure that you share maybe the note taker with Princess, so that all this that you've said will take it into practice. We'll really try to put it in practice. And though we have limited resources on the YouTube, but actually what you just said, it's a reality about it, but we are working towards that.
Great. All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for the call.
Okay, thank you too. Take care.